Follow is a presentation of MRE UNO. Follow is a presentation of MRE UNO. Follow is a presentation.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to another streamed Uno match here in the HufflePuff region, the round 64 of the March Madness tournament for 2025. Today is Sunday, February 9th. So glad you could all be here today for this. It should be a fun one in store for you as we got Captain, the number 2 seed, taking on the number 15 seed, hailing from the state of Tennessee, Austin Rogers, in an epic duel that is scheduled for you real soon. The winner of this match, as you see, well, sticking to the schedule here, we got the Gryffindor region here, a 2 p.m. Eastern game between Cody Lamas and Retro. Later today at 4, in the Slytherin region, is Austin LaPlante and Clay Wolf. And lastly, in the Ravenclaw region, Carson Gum versus La Rahu. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too badly, but that is everything on the docket for today here, as we wrap up these round of 64 matches. And as we go to the March Madness bracket, we got Captain and Austin Rogers facing off. The winner of this match is going to be facing the number 7 seed of Myth, who took down Radin in a 4-3 victory. Also in the Hufflepuff region, the Ghost, the number 3 seed, was able to take down Gone in a 4-2 win. And Yoshi was able to defeat Gman in an epic match for that one in a 4-3 win, as Ghost and Yoshi will face each other. But as far as who's going to face Myth, it's going to be between Austin and Cap, 2 ambitious players. Captain, he's got a little bit more on his resume versus Rogers, but Rogers, he's still got a lot of fire and enthusiasm, and we're just excited for this good one here in just a few moments. This is your man JT here in the commentary booth. Joining next to me in the commentary booth is Mr. Charles Sanford out of California. So Charles, good to welcome you here today as we got this match coming up. So based on what you know of these two players, Cap and Rogers, how much of a treat do you think this will be for the fans that are going to be tuning into this?
I think we're in for a blast, especially the way that round 1 has gone. We've seen tons of upsets so far, so anything can and probably will happen here. For Cap, I know that he's basically going to try and do some low cards, Captain 7 Seas, bring that back. Rogers is going to be, how can he maintain those waves and stay buoyant basically today, try and see if he can't get the upset here and just another one in round 1.
Super. Thank you for that. Let's go over to the game zone, and we will bring in the 2 players here to ask a couple questions here today. Captain, why don't we start with you? So you had a fantastic run in a Super League last year. Of course, you got many magical moments here on your resume. But as you're about to take on Rogers, and based on this round 1, how crazy it's been with a lot of the top contenders being knocked out early, what are your steps that you're going to take to make sure it doesn't happen to you today, as you are the number 2 seed? And we'll go over to Rogers now. We'll ask him a question here. You are seated lower compared to Captain, but you think that could be maybe put you in an underdog kind of scenario? Do you see yourself as the underdog as you face Captain, or you think you're pretty much on equal ground as far as your opponents go?
Yeah, I see myself as a little bit of an underdog. I mean, Captain has a little bit more of a better resume and a better record than I did last year. Um, but it's not about that no more. It's about what's gonna happen here in 2025. So let's not keep this side of the bracket chalk. Let's go out there and make an upset.
All right, real good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that answer. Excited to see how the gameplay is gonna be coming on here. As we're waiting for a Captain to type out his response. But like I mentioned earlier on the schedule, it is the first game today. We got 4 on the docket. We're going to shrink down the HufflePuff region to another contender. One moves on to face. There's the bracket. Myth.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Had to look it up for a bit.
Of course, if it's Captain that gets... Oh, there he goes. Now he's got the message in.
Yeah, now Captain has his answer. If I play my best game, I can beat anyone. Last season was up and down for me, so even I have no idea what I can expect from me today. So yeah, interesting kind of response, but still, I mean, both players, they tend to have a pretty positive outlook going into this round. As we're gonna keep on carrying the crazy round one that we have seen today. A lot of the top contenders, a lot of the top seeds getting knocked out, a lot of the newcomers that we've seen being able to make big waves in advance. So we'll just have to see the outcome of this. But anyway, 7 games. Each player has 1 power play. As we got Nam here to do the reffing. I believe he's do the reffing. But anyway,
yes.
Captain has the number 2 seed, so he gets the first call. Anywhere between 5 and 15. How many you want? We're going to go with a 9-card start here for this first game. Here we go. Best of luck to both gentlemen. And there is Nam's card to start with the 4. Imagine that.
Immediate swap to Tapir's card there in the red 4. And then characteristically high start for Captain, truthfully, going with the 9 cards there.
Very true. Yeah, he's more comfortable with the low end starts. The between the 5s to 8s. Still remaining with the 9.
Already a second color swap for Captain and just 2 cards played. Over to the yellow 2 there for Rogers.
There's a double by Captain. Skip into a deuce.
Kind of a half ditto. Gets an extra card played in addition to still keeping it on the 2.
Stingray 5 by Rogers. That skip is the only real action card that has been played. So you may as well figure that these players may be saving those cards for striking later in the game.
Well, both players kind of into that range now. We're within 5 cards for both. Cap's the first to draw.
Yep, he blinks first and has to draw. So what can Rogers do with this stalled momentum? He switches it up to a lane 7.
Gonna say possible bailout. Cap still drawing, but plays a reverse.
Yeah, interesting indeed. Not too often you get to see open-ended plays like that. But another lane 7. Rogers keeps on moving.
Top deck of a 6 there for Cap.
Into a JT5 by Rogers, and he's got to draw. Captain definitely drawing the most between these 2 players. Oh, and there Rogers has to draw. That's the first time that he's had to draw.
Got down as close as 2, but couldn't quite seal the deal.
Now he switches it up to a DJ5.
Yep, DJ unfortunately not able to get the win last night.
Rogers down to 2. He has a healthy gap on Captain, but he's got to draw right there. So Rogers is frozen.
Can happen. There's the other Tapir 4.
Still nothing by Rogers. Now we see green.
Cap plays his own card.
How about that? Aggressive color switch by Cap and plays into his own card. I wonder if Rogers has maybe any greens in store.
You'd almost hope he does. He does. Gets the double play in, makes up some ground. Rogers for check.
Oh, he
Captain for check.
Nothing. Both players at a deuce. Captain taking his time right there. There's the Uno. He gets to check first. Can Rogers stop him? Oh, but Captain, he was able to stop him, and Captain takes game number 1 over Austin Rogers, over 3.5 minutes to seal up that win. In a sort of a calmer game 1. I mean, I've seen wilder game 1s across this tournament in this round, but that one was pretty much, easy going, happy-go-lucky. But a great win, Captain. A good execution of your cards. It was definitely lacking the action cards, which is what has been weird. So given that, you think maybe in other matches where you don't have any action cards, you think you can kind of roll the same strategy into another win? And while he's typing up his response, Austin, I know there wasn't many action cards or command cards that you either of you used. Do you think maybe if you had a wild or even a +2, you might have maybe stalled him a bit and you may have had a better shot?
I mean, that could have been the case. Just really no action card, like you said. There was nothing that I had, card luck right there. I guess I could have, drew him out a little bit, knowing that he had, what I think was the blue earlier. I could have kept holding him on the blues, but I took him out of that and gave him the opportunity to open up on another color. So that's probably a mistake on my part.
Yeah, not to sweat. It is just one game out of 7. You got lots of time to recover and maybe bounce back
Sure.
and take the lead. But as you see in the analysis, 0 wilds, 0 +4s, 0 +2s. Charles, I mean, even though it is a game 1, like that's still a pretty weird statistic.
Yeah, it is. Just 3 action cards total. I'm gonna say it's probably calm before the storm there. Just because they are definitely not going to, or the bot's basically proven it's not going to stay this calm forever. So it's going to be a matter of who can get those action cards at the right time. And to be fair, also with low cards, law of luck base. So we'll see.
Could be that there could be a storm brewing, and we may have just not witnessed the intensity of it yet. But nonetheless, let's get game 2 started. So a Captain was able to win with 9 cards. That's the only number he can't use for game 2. Going 1 up to 10. That's what he's going to choose. And now we start off with an action card right away. A skip. The Captain gets the first call.
Whoever's on scoreboard, make sure to start it. Immediate color swap from Rogers over to red.
Yeah, not a bad move, I'd say. I mean, if you start with 10 cards or more, you're bound to have, at least a couple of every color in your hand. So, I mean, why not make use of it? Oh, that actually turned out to be a good play as a Captain got frozen with these reds, and Rogers has continued to move. Oh, to run the scoreboard, yes. I'm actually not sure how to adjust it. There it is. Yeah, Captain 1-0. So that's good.
Well, you also gotta start the timer because timer for game 2. Swap over to green from Rogers. Or do you need me to run the scoreboard?
Yeah, I'm not sure where to find it, unfortunately. Right, anyway, we're going to run with these greens. His captain was frozen on the red for a little bit. But now that we switch to this color, it looks like he's adjusting to it well. But now we go to blue.
Trying to get close.
Oh, check that out by captain. A +6. Blue to red. That's going to set Rogers back a little bit. And another double.
Warm, but still leaves it open.
Oh, okay, so a triple. +2/+2 skip. So now Rogers, I mean, he's got a lot more ammo now. Still a narrow lead by Cap, though. Only a 3-card lead.
And anything can and will happen. We'll see. There's some action of his own. Gets the over to green, so costly door open for Cap.
Yep, you had to figure.
Rogers makes up that 3-card gap.
You had to figure he saved that skip in the bank just for that possible switch. And Rogers made the best use of it. Now there's the KT Blue Wild. So Rogers now, he's the one who's got the upper hand for the time being, but still a long way to go.
Captain drawing on blue, so the ocean water not being his friend right now in this game.
Nope, doesn't look like it is. There's an M6 played by Rogers, and there's a switch to green again. Captain's been liking them greens. Oh, great switch by Captain. Rogers has to draw. Great move.
Yep, gets it over to green. Rogers forced to draw now.
One down to a LaPlante 5.
But Rogers able to switch it back to blue. And on a card that Cap couldn't switch back to green, has to draw.
Yeah, so excellent. So you see the... Oh, no, I was just going to say Rogers was rolling with these blues.
Classic.
Captain was rolling with the greens, and now they're both going into Draw City, it seems.
Don't think that's the worst thing for Rogers, though, in all honesty.
Both of these guys continuing to draw back just to see if they find something they like. Maybe pick up a couple wilds in there. Uno F. Yeah, F. It's F in the chat.
Definitely in the Draw City now, up over 10 cards for Cap. 1 card away from 10 for Rogers. And who's going to be that first one to blink? Of course, if you Cap, I don't think you mind the drawing here if you got the... Especially because that's putting Rogers farther and farther away. Rogers is the first to blink with the Peter on Jack 1.
And now he goes to a Gangsta 1. And now into green, which is a color the Captain has liked this game.
Of course, Rogers could now have a little bit of extra green, but goes to red.
Nope. Maybe if there's a yellow, we could taste the rainbow with these ones.
Well, we haven't seen any yellow yet so far.
Nope, going to roll with these reds. Oh, how about this double from Austin? And he still gets to call this turn here. Into a red 0 sugar. Great move to expand his lead.
Cherry 0.
That's right, Cherry 0 sugar, which you can order Black Cherry Middle Road Energy at drinkmiddleroadenergy.com. Now Captain breaks free. And
There's the yellow. There's Pandora's box open now.
Yep, our first yellow. But Captain has a big deficit to make up.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that. Exactly. Switch back to red.
What does Austin have up his sleeve? Nothing. Looks like he is frozen on the reds. This may be a good thing for Cap to shrink that margin. Been in the yellows again with another double play.
That's
going into a triple.
interesting move for Cap to go back to yellow. Gets the quad play.
And that brings
Ties
it to
it
a
up.
tie. Excellent work by Captain.
But Rogers with that possession arrow. Because if they just keep playing numbers, he'll get to Uno first.
Both players still have a power play up their sleeve. In the stream that I did with Lane versus M, we saw Lane use his power
there's
play
a
up in
+4.
game 2. As a Cap, he's got a +4. Now he's the one who has the upper hand. But you think it'd be too early for that to be used
Could be
in
split
this
ammo. He's down to 2.
case.
What does Rogers have up his sleeve? Past the 8-minute mark.
Oh, and there, look at that. A double play of his own as we go to yellow. Now the margin is even once again. Or almost even. Rogers does
should be a
take the
triple. As
lead.
you can see at the +4.
Yep, there's the triple. Now Rogers has a 2-card lead. So it's like monkey see, monkey do. Austin with the lead again. Oh, not before Cap throws a +2 at him. And now it's an exact role reversal from before.
But Cap draws to tie it back at 5. Can Rogers roll with it?
This could be big. Still calmly rolling down with these yellows. Oh, there's a blue switch.
Not the worst play for Cap.
It's been a while since we've ventured into the blues in this game.
Cards, in all honesty, only 4 +2s left, one of each color. No reverses in red or yellow. No skips in yellow or in green or red. So only 2 skips left, actually. Make that both blue skips. Only 1 skip left.
Yeah. It looks like both players are drawing back just like they did before.
Well, and being stuck on this with only the yellow skip out there's the blueberry 0 sugar.
Yep, Blueberry Blast. You could also order that at drinkmineralroadenergy.com.
It's really hard to switch off of a 0 because there's only 2 of them. Actually, there's only 1 of those left in deck, and it's in yellow as well. So again, great play for Rogers playing that probability here, knowing full well that it's going to be hard to swap off of this. So we might be stuck here for a little bit, waiting for someone to get either a blue, top deck of blue, or to get the yellow 0.
We did see 2 of the +4s being played. Oh, and there's he top decked the reverse.
So we're, okay, a little bit funnier.
Yeah, we are way past the length that game 1 was. We're already into the 10, now 11-minute range.
That should catch the leaderboard up on. So we get into red now, so we've finally kind of broken free of this a little bit.
Yeah, now we're starting to move away. Now we're starting to get some motion in this game once again.
There's the Kev 3. Love you, Kev. Sad that you're going to have to retire from the league. Yellow
Yeah.
3, though, now for Cap.
Yeah, definitely some big news. We definitely wish Cav the best as he moves on to other ventures outside of this league. But as Rogers goes back to the game, he's got a Brock 1 to play into a Ghost red by Cap.
That's both yellow ones and red ones off the board. Only 2 ones left, both one in green, one in blue. Hey,
Roger.
there's my card. There we go.
Yep, there's the Sam for 6. Rogers down to dose. Can he get to check?
No.
Oh, he
Looking for the
can't.
tie.
Couldn't quite get there. Cap continues to play. What will he choose to do? Into a
That's
yellow.
a huge play.
Yeah, that may or may not be good.
That could be check for Cap. I know there's not much action cards left, but that still could be check.
Okay, both guys down to 2.
Okay, I was all card off then. I thought that was to give him to 2.
Oh, Rogers is frozen.
Cap for check.
He can't follow up on his own yellow 4. Oh, and how about that by Captain? Excellent play. The +4 ended on his own green 4. Excellent finish by Cap in over a 12-minute game 2. Yeah, so excellent work again, Cap. It was a lot longer road to victory this time. When these games do get longer like this, does it deter you at all? Or do you think the longer timed games is more up your alley and you're able to be more patient when you play? And as Captain gets his response up, Austin, it's unfortunate when you go into long games like that only for you to come on the losing end. But the good news is for games 3 and 4, we're going to go to your home turf and you get to call the shots now. So you think this might be a time you might try and get some momentum back and maybe try and even it up? What do you think you might do to make it happen?
I got to get these next 2 if I want a chance to win the series. So, I mean, momentum has to be on his side right now, but I'm hoping to take that over.
It's a solid point. We've seen so many times right now where all it takes is just getting that one game and you can turn the tides a little bit. So if Rogers can get something going here on his homestand, it might be all he needs to go ahead and turn it around and at least force the 7.
And Captain's response, I prefer shorter games. Sometimes I make more mistakes in the longer games, but in this game I managed to stay patient. And that's a good thing. A good thing to be able to have is patience in case games go long. And Captain was able to execute on it well. But anyway, yeah, Rogers, we're heading back to his homestand now, and he does call 7 cards. So as Nam sets that up, game 3, we're going to go with the original 7-card start. And it has begun with a green 9.
It's actually not it's a solid point there for Cap that he made as well, because he comes into this series, he's got an average game length of under 5 minutes. So this has kind of been an uncharacteristically long series for him already just through 2 games, because we've got a 3-minute, which is not that far off his average, and then a massively long marathon form at 12 minutes.
Right.
As we get a cube root there from Cap into a draw. Well, and both players run out.
Yeah, but they both have to. So they're not liking these blues, it appears. Oh, there's a switch up to a Nom 4.
Well, probably going to be both players draw, though, again, unless someone has a 4, so.
That may have been top deck, yeah.
Yeah. And Rogers was clearly trying to hope that Cap would free him up with a 4.
We saw this in game 2. Both players having to do it on multiple occasions, drawing back. Looks like the same situation is applying here in game 3. But now he breaks with an M6.
Gonna have to wait and see. Does Rogers? Yep. Switches it over to red with my card.
Yep, there's Charles' card that Austin plays.
One down to DJ. Neither one of us coming on the better end of the cards last night.
No.
As there's a red 1 for Rogers. Swaps it back over to green.
There's a green. That's the one that we started with at the beginning of this game.
Rogers flexing with the captain card.
Still a close race. It is still tied between these two guys. Oh, but
Rogers
now
runs
nothing.
out on a crucial card, the 0.
Yeah,
so hard to swap off of it.
That 0 definitely was a freezer for Austin as captain. He's just going to keep on going.
Gives Cap a 2-card advantage, really, considering Rogers was first to play. Plenty of options here for Rogers to get out of it if he has one. For all we know, at least 6 of the other 8s out in the deck. Or he has a +4.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Now Rogers turns up the aggression level with that +4. Gonna try and make it a triple.
I would imagine this is a triple the way he's played. No!
Wow, a quad.
Could have played that all in one chain if he wanted to. Is this game?
Yeah, that's down to 2. He could get to Uno with this next move. Yes, he does. He doesn't close it, but he's still at Uno. Can Captain come back from 8 cards? Or does Austin have him where he wants him? Does he have the final touch? The final nail in the coffin to put into this game of Captain? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, you can't give Cap extra cards and not close it.
Just like that, the lead is already back down to just 1 that Austin has. So close to putting this away. Now we got to re-rack it and do it again.
No clue if that would have been his final card, just because we don't know if he had yellow to end it there. Swap over to green. Oh, what a clutch swap.
Yeah, great one by Cap. As Rogers couldn't do anything with that green, we'll see how well this red favors him.
Trying to tie it back up. Cap with the possession arrow, but Rogers takes it right back with the +2.
How about that? He's not giving this one up. Rogers is still trying to chug along.
+3. But Rogers rolled out.
Oh, he's frozen again on the reds.
Cap for the tie. Has the color swap. No, I played on yellow, though, so this might free up Rogers.
It does right there, just for a moment.
And Rogers crucially keeping that possession arrow in his favor. In his favor. So it's a ditto play there. Threw me off a little bit.
And there's a power play. There we go. Austin uses his power play. Does he have that
gotta be game
run to make sure he finishes this one up? He plays the KT Blue Wild. Cap has to draw. Rogers can keep going. Could this be it? Can Rogers get a win on home? Yes, he can. Austin Rogers gets his first win of this series in a 5-minute, 50-second game 3. Awesome execution by him with that power play. Austin, you kept that power play to good use, and you executed it well. There's pretty much not more else I can elaborate on. Other than that was the real winning move for you.
Absolutely. I'm not a huge fan of the power play, aspect of the game, but it obviously it can come in handy whenever you need it. But at this time, it came in handy. But like I said, not a huge fan of it, but it is what it is.
Right. Still an excellent move to get the win with. And Captain, you nearly could have you nearly could have got that comeback against Rogers. But if he hadn't used the power play, you think you may have had what it took to go 3-0 over him? But sweet work by Austin anyway for that power play usage, and that's what got him this win in Game 3. His hopes are very much alive, Charles.
Yeah, gives him some life here. The only problem I see is if Rogers is going to have to win on low cards, that's Cap's bread and butter too. We've still yet to see Cap go to 5. We've yet to see him go to 6. Those are the things we normally see him do, and to see him win on 9 and 10 is not the best of signs either. So for Rogers, can he win on something that's in that mid-tier or high-tier package is going to be the key. And oh my goodness, you're going to,
Oh, how interesting is this? Well, anyway, as Captain answers, I had 2 yellows left, a wild and a green. I could have maybe finished it in a few moves. Yeah, it's I guess it all mattered that Austin, he had the run, and the one power play was going to make it happen for him. But we are starting with 5 cards for Game 4. And he draws
Rogers
right away.
No yellow on the sprint.
See, yeah, that's
Doesn't have the mediums.
That's the positives and the negatives with these low card starts. You could either make a good run instantly, or you could burn right out.
Well, he finds a 6.
He uses that number efficiency to play Charles Sanford 6. Go into red.
But Cap had it as well. Rogers needing to find some card that he can make Cap draw on here to get some form of the run back. Goes to green.
Yep.
It's a risk.
That could be something to
And
throw
my
him
back
off.
card.
Nope. He skips it right there.
Cap for check.
Oh, he draws there.
Draws when he got to Uno.
Austin
And
has
now
to draw
both players are going to
2.
be in draw city, I think.
And it's
Unless
hard
Cap
to
top deck something.
yeah, it's hard to follow up. Oh,
my
talk
goodness.
about that
Okay.
coming. What an unexpected twist was that, Cap. Saving that Uno +4 and going into a gangsta 1 to wrap up game number 4 here. So, Captain, I know these low card starts are your bread and butter anyway, but as soon as you saw Austin select a 5-card starts, did you think you would have a good chance to put it away quickly, just as you did here?
I had the similar question just to Rogers. Rogers, explain to us the thought process of basically giving Cap his bread and butter there on one of your own homestands.
I wanted to take it out of his hands. I wanted him to have to play high cards later in the round, so I would have the better advantage. But it kind of bit me in the butt then and there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk. I mean, you certainly try to do something different, something out of your comfort zone. But yeah, it's just Brad was able to really adapt to that decision well, and he puts it away in just 73 seconds over
Well,
Austin.
he drew that. He drew that +4 off that wild +4 off the top deck. So, I mean, without that, I thought I might have had him, where I wanted him, because I drew off that top. I had a wild off the first, but I wanted not to play that quick. So maybe I should have played it right off the bat. But
gotcha. And Captain's response: yeah, I like really low card games. I had a better hand and a lucky draw. So, yeah, all signs are probably showing that was a top deck +4 that he did get. But anyway, Game 5, Cap needs just one more win, and he puts this series away. He can't do 5, 9, or 10. He's going to do 6.
And that dreaded power play lock as well for Cap.
That's right. Yeah, he's still got a power play to use whenever he pleases. Anyway, one more win by Cap. It is do or die time for Austin for the rest of this series. Goes into its appear 4. Just riding with these reds ever so calmly. And there, Captain gets frozen.
Well, one up that time to DJ.
And that officially gives Austin the lead. Wonder if Cap maybe got a red off the top deck or if he has to continue drawing.
Really, he's definitely loading up. This could be a run. I don't think 6 cards would be a little bit outlandish, but yeah.
Oh,
Final
yep.
+4.
There it is.
He didn't power play, though. That's the interesting part.
Trying to go into a triple. And,
He had 2 +4s.
Oh my goodness. That is insane. And that's the series. That is the series. Captain gets to move on to play Myth. As Rogers is going to have to wonder what could have been. And wow, a stunning display of playing by Captain to take this. And only a 92-second game that one was. As we end off with 2 quick ones. Well, way to go, Cap. You get to move on to play Myth in this next round. You get to move on to the round of 32. But, wow, talk about saving the best hand for last. And you never even had to use your power play either. Oh, and
They started game 2 off with a Captain 4 over there in the Llamas Retro game.
Wow, Captain says he could have used the power play 1 move earlier, but I forgot. Well, well, I guess you didn't really need to anyway. But yeah, talk about the 2 +4s right away from the start. Austin, tough luck right there. I mean, coming from someone who did get eliminated in this first round, it's not fun to have to sit and watch the rest of the tournament. But kind of unfortunate you never got as much love from the bot to have that much ammo. And but just to talk about how you fared against yourself against Captain, and you did what you could to despite what you were up against.
I mean, yeah, you got to look at the stats right there. I mean, he had 4 more wild +4s than I did, so it just the luck and +2s. He had 2 more +2s than I did, so it is what it is. I mean, I felt like I didn't come in here and just get absolutely just destroyed, so it is what it is. So I'm not. I mean, look at that hand he had right there. So he had exactly what he needed. So
yeah, that's absolutely
crazy. That's almost a similar point to what I commented on last night with mine. You noticed he had 24 extra cards drawn, and the card self-drawn was pretty even. So the fact that this one went 5, not really that much of a surprise when you look at that.
Yeah, I mean that's what is though. Like if you have a good hand, consistently in these matches, you can take a couple matches off, but when you go behind 1-0, 2-0, and then you try chipping away, it's hard when you don't have that luck in those later rounds, and I just didn't have them today.
Yep. Yeah. Sucks it wasn't you this time, but you can look. We can look forward to seeing you for the next tournament in April.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hopefully, turn your stuff around. We appreciate you participating in this and always being a loyal, dedicated member of this league. But wow, Charles, Captain just absolutely had enough love from the bot to put it away quickly in game number 5. But Austin had his moments too where he could have, stepped up to Captain, but ultimately Captain was just the better guy today.
Yeah. And to be fair, that's somewhat what you expect when it's a 215 for Rogers. Probably means, unfortunately, not going to look good for him going into T2 just because there have been so many people that are seated around him that went 7. So he's probably looking at moving down the bracket, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, there's probably some positives he can take here. He had a good power play usage. At least won the game off of that, so he didn't go down with a sweep. And for Cap, looking for he's going to have to move ahead to Myth, and that's a style matchup if ever I've seen one. Both players really like the 7 or fewer, so this is going to be a low tide for the I'm not bonanza is what I was going to go for there. A low tide bonanza there between those two when we look at round 2.
All right, well, awesome though. But yeah, I guess there's not much more that we need to elaborate on. Again, Captain, Austin, excellent match between you guys. Just don't forget to leave your quotes in the channel whenever you
Before we
can.
sign off, a brief update on the other game that's going on right now between Retro and Llamas. Retro, the 10 seed, up 2-0 on Llamas.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I will actually bring up the schedule right now. But yeah, Captain Austin, you guys can leave your quotes whenever you can over in the channel. Let's switch over to the upcoming schedule. Yeah, the Llamas and Retro match happening right now. You can go over to the Gryffindor region where that game is taking place. Oh, and again, later today after the Llamas and Retro game, you got the Austin LaPlante and Clay game at 4. And then scheduled for 5:30 in the Ravenclaw region is Carson and Laraujo. That was definitely some good stuff indeed. As Cap, once this bracket is updated, he will officially be moving on to play Myth next in the HufflePuff region, as he is victorious over Austin Rogers today. But an excellent match by both of them, and that's really all there has to be said. So thank you very much, Charles, for joining me in the booth. Thank you, Tanat, for being an outstanding referee. Once more, this is Jay Turner up here in the commentary booth, signing off for you all. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys for the next match, and happy Uno.